which is very important with pound cake-like items. You don't
Yeah, you want to use as much lubrication for the pound cakes that you need. Yes, that is normal.
want this to stick. It happened to me once.
This is why you use lubrication. Hi. Today we're going to be watching Cold Oven Cake by B. Dylan Hollis. This was recorded live, so come watch me on Twitch. Link in the description below. Let's go. Time for some cold oven cakes. You are plotting telepathically. Good. Fantastic. Set something on fire. Don't. But alright. At least it's not beef balls. So let's see what Dylan makes with a cold oven cake. Said something about do a crime. Yeah, pretty much.
Gentles and ladymen, welcome
Hello,
back to
Dylan.
the kitchen. I ask of you, what is the first instruction that we find when we're baking? If you said preheat your oven, I am in complete agreement with you. I find that as well. But today we're baking a recipe from 1976 titled A Cold Oven Cake.
That is a very old one,
all
alright?
Of putting an unbaked good into an oven cold intrigues me. Because,
Well,
of course, we were all taught, or at least I was, that a preheated oven to the correct temperature is of utmost importance for your baked good to turn out correctly.
Correct.
With that being said, there is something mildly exciting about breaking the rules, titillating even. So,
well,
let's dive in. So the recipe in question specifically comes from October of 1976 from this little ditty right here, the Women's Circle Home Cooking Periodical.
Cool.
These went under the subheading of the National Women's Home Cooking Club. And let me tell
cooking
you, these
club,
are my favorite cookbooks ever. Which is something many cookbook collectors would scoff at. They'd consider these trash or a...
Well, why? Because it's normal recipes from normal people. It's not some gourmet stuff, I guess. But, alright. What would realistically require you to have a cold oven? Aside from, like, the baking dish.
Ephemera. They were mailed out en masse by subscription every month to all manners of people. There's nothing too much special about this.
No, it's just regular recipes.
No. And it's because these showcase what's actually going on in everyday kitchens of ordinary people like you and I.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, these ones have regular recipes for regular people. They're not like something like gourmet stuff you'd find like in a regular recipe book, quote unquote, at the time.
Every recipe in here is sent in by an average member of the public. Strangely, with their full names and addresses included. Now, professional, commercial,
horrifying, but okay.
Are fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I collect quite a few, but they don't provide an accurate depiction as to what food culture is at the time.
This is true.
You know? They showcase what people are striving to eat, whereas these and church or
what you actually eat
show us what people are actually eating.
Yeah.
Now, we're here to bake a cake, so let's talk cake.
All right.
On page 47 of the cookbook, you'll find our recipe, and just looking at
hold on, just wait, let's go back.
Cake, so let's talk cake. On page 47 of the cookbook.
Here we go. Wait. Cold oven cake. Margarine Crisco. Margarine and Crisco? I mean, okay. Sugar, sifted flour, baking powder, milk, eggs. That is a lot of eggs, okay. Vanilla extract, coconut extract. Okay, that's cool. Why would you do this with a cold oven, though?
You'll find our recipe, and just looking at the ingredients, you'll see we have some peculiarities in front of us. We have 2 sticks of margarine. That's a full cup, plus an additional half cup of Crisco shortening.
That is a lot.
This was the 70s.
Yes.
Moving on, we have 3 cups
well,
of
at least
sugar
it's not
and
lard,
4
I
cups
guess.
Of flour. Now, the 1-to-1 ratio between the sugar and the flour, plus the large amount of fat, should tell us that this is going to be akin to a pound cake. And that idea is confirmed by the minute amount of baking powder and the relatively large amount of eggs.
Relatively, it's 5 eggs.
Extracts on top of that for flavor. So, let's get to it. We start with 2 sticks or 1 cup of margarine, also known as oleo, short for oleomargarine. And I can hear the collective sigh. Margarine gets a lot of bad press, and most of it is for good reason, you know? It has an inferior taste to butter, and butter is arguably better for you. But,
also true, however.
This type of elitism in baking.
To be fair, like, a lot of the times, like, at least from what I remember, like, you used margarine because that's what was available, and that's what you could afford.
If you're in your own kitchen baking for your own self, use whatever it is you want to use. Not only can some people not afford butter, and it's wrong to blame them for it, but I believe margarine actually has its place. For example, I will admit to you that I use margarine willingly. Not under duress for certain types of crispy cookies, like crispy oatmeal cookies or peanut butter cookies, God forbid, because I like the texture that margarine can provide.
It's not as buttery, I guess.
Use margarine in cakes, though. We can leave that in the 70s. Now we need a half cup of Crisco shortening, and I've
more
run out
stuff.
of scale because I can never accurately get displacement measurements of shortening. You get air.
I don't think you can get any displacement measurements of stuff, but yes.
Has so much fat in it, you never want it to be inaccurate, or else your cake may fail.
Fat,
I believe it's a lot easier to know that a half cup of Crisco is 95 grams.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Now it's time for 3 cups of sugar, and I'm going to put this in 1 cup at a time.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Number 2.
Cream it all.
And our last one in. You know, sugar in a carton is so much easier.
Is it?
I have a lot of people.
Okay, who sells sugar in a carton? I have never seen that. It's always in bags. What? Okay.
On TikTok and YouTube who always ask as to why I don't use an electric mixer or a stand mixer to cream together my butter and my sugar.
Yeah.
Or the margarine and the sugar in this case. Because it's a very important step in baking, right? The cream,
yeah.
fats, and sugar.
To be fair, the only reason I don't do it is because my mixer is borked. And I have to do it by hand. And it's an enormous pain in the ass, depending on how much it is. I think he's in Wisconsin. Maybe. I don't know. The Midwestern weirdos. Oh god, Luna's gonna yell at you.
Especially in a pound cake item like this. And really, I have 2 reasons. The first reason is I just really love to bake. So if I'm going to bake, I want to bake. I want to be down in the process. I want to be well involved in the situation because I find it fun. And the
fair enough.
Reason is simply not everyone has these things, right? Not everyone has a stand mixer. So when they see these $600 KitchenAids on television or YouTube, it gives them the wrong idea. It gives them the idea that if they don't have the gadgets, they can't bake the recipe.
That is actually a good point. Like, you don't need the gadgets to bake this thing, because a lot of the recipes can be made entirely by hand. It's just a pain in the ass in some steps. That's about it.
And that's just patently false. You'd be surprised what you can get done with a bowl, a wooden spoon, and a whisk.
Oh no, I would not be.
With that rant over with, we are done here with our margarine and our sugar. We have a light, fluffy texture, which is increased in volume, so we're ready for the eggies.
Well, yeah, so you just made buttercream frosting at the moment with shortening in it. Or margarine cream frosting, I guess, but yes.
Of which we need 5.
Yes, you do.
1 at a time.
That is a lot of eggs.
So we are on our 3rd egg now, and as you can see,
it's
becoming really quite smooth.
It is
taking on
very
a
smooth.
Yellow golden color, which is a welcome departure from the sickly pale Crisco and margarine.
Oh no, it's a very good departure from the brown frothing beef we just watched, but yes. All right.
Alrighty, all of the eggs have been incorporated, beaten between each addition.
That looks very smooth.
Dry ingredients. For this, we need 3 cups of sifted flour. So there's.
To be fair, I don't think you need to be sifting flour anymore. I think that was a thing of the past. I don't think it changes all that much anymore.
3 in the sieve right now, and then only a half teaspoon of baking powder.
Not a lot.
I don't do this typically for recipes when I'm baking for myself.
Yeah, there's really no point.
For it, you best know I do. We also need a cup of milk on hand, so we can alternate adding it to this mixture with the flour.
Fair enough.
So in goes a touch of flour,
a bunch of milk,
and some of the milk.
Yeah, that is a very important thing. Like always,
milk to the dry ingredients. It's just so that we don't break the batter. If we added all the milk at once, it would get far too loose, and it would threaten all of the air that we worked so very hard to incorporate.
Yeah, you don't want to lose batter. You want it nice and firm.
During the earlier steps, more flour. I'll tell you what. Unlike cakes made with butter, which smell really quite nice at this point, this doesn't smell like anything. Oh, margarine.
Well,
the last
it's margarine.
The last of the milk. Look at how creamy and smooth our batter is. At this point, we add in the flavors.
Oh God, Luna!
1 teaspoon of vanilla and 1 teaspoon of coconut. Boop, boop. Now I know
that is a lot of vanilla.
To be here isn't billed as a pound cake, but I reckon that's what it's trying to be, judging by the ingredients, like I said earlier. And it's going to be interesting because typically a pound cake recipe does not contain any flavoring, does not contain any milk, does not contain any baking powder. All of those we've added. So
really?
Traditionally, a pound cake recipe is just a pound each of butter, sugar, eggs, and flour. So
yeah, but it's also about as dense as a brick. So, you know,
I'm very interested as to how this is going to turn out.
I mean, it'll be fine. Oh, there's the bunt. You better fucking grease it very well.
To turn this into a 10-inch tube pan. Now, I don't have one of those. The nearest I have is a similarly sized bunt pan.
Yeah, bunts. My nemesis. Unless you get, like, butter everywhere or use, like, a cooking spray, this is gonna stick. It always sticks. And anytime somebody is advertising a non-stick bunt, they are fucking lying.
Which is close enough. I have buttered and floured this severely, which is very important with pound cake-like items. You don't want...
Yeah, you want to use as much lubrication for the pound cakes that you need. Yes, that is normal.
Want this to stick. It happened to me once.
This is why you use lubrication. Yeah, otherwise you're gonna get stuck. God. Okay, let's not get yelled by YouTube.
Do not skimp on the process.
So do not.
Here we go. Look at those ribbons. Now, there is a chance that this is too much batter in this pan. But
you think? Look at how big it is. This is going to overflow. And if you put it on the top thing, it might reach the heating element. Oh, God. Oh, no. I have a story about this. When I was in college, I was making cornbread. Sweet cornbread. And I remember it to this day because I did everything. I put it in the oven to bake. And after a while, I started to hear this very strange sizzling noise, right? And it smelled really bad. Not like food bad, not like burning food, but something smelled oily wrong, like mechanical oil. And I had no idea what the fuck was happening. So we started looking around the student apartment to see if we could find out what was happening. And we couldn't find anything, right? So after a while, I went to check on the cornbread to see what it was going. And the sound got louder the closer I got to the oven. So I thought, oh no, what happened? And as I opened the oven, a giant bowl of black smoke punches me in the face. And it smells like burning electronics. And I did not know this was even fucking possible. But what apparently happened was the bottom heating element melted itself off on one side, bent down and touched the bottom of the oven and shorted itself and proceeded to weld itself down there and spark everywhere. So that was a thing that happened. I don't know. Keep in mind, like, we're dumb students, but I've cooked a lot, so I don't know what the hell happened. Anyway, we call maintenance. They waddled their ass up there very slowly, like they usually do, and then in a very large panic, noticed that there's an almost electrical fire happening. And yeah, long things short, we got a new oven. We had to describe why this was happening, and that we were not, in fact, trying to burn down the apartment complex. So that was definitely a memory and a half. Unfortunately, the cornbread was ruined, so that was the big loss of the of the entire endeavor. But yeah, I didn't think that was possible, but that is exactly what this reminds me of.
But we're going to go for it anyway. And as per instructions, our cold oven cake is going into a cold oven.
Yes, that's what it means.
1 hour and 15 minutes, and we set the temperature to 350.
Okay.
50 and 1 hour and 15. And now...
Okay, here's the question. Who uses the alarm on their oven as opposed to setting it on their phone or using one of those wind-up timers? Because I have never, ever used the alarm function. You? Really? On the oven? I don't know why. I just never use it on the oven. I just always use it as something external. It's probably because my oven is on the other side of the apartment than my office, so it's I'll probably never hear it, and whatever I'm baking will burn.
We wait. We've reached temperature after 12 minutes. And
okay.
The cake is just starting to form some bubbles.
Fantastic.
This is 40 minutes in and still looking quite pale. Got a bit more bubbles.
No, I think the problem is something else.
To exceed the pan as I feared.
Yeah.
I think all will be okay. With about
really?
10 minutes left on the bake, I wanted to share with you yet another reason why I adore these periodical cookbooks. And that is because of the small glimpses of current events that you find going on during the time in which they were published.
What do you mean current events?
Of this edition, you'll find an article titled "Getting Ready for the Metric kitchen.
Ah, yes, of course. And as we all know, the US is currently fully metric in the kitchen. Oh, yes. There are no cups. No, no, no. No, we have, normal measurements. No, no.
And let me just read this to you. The metrics are coming and there's no avoiding it.
The metrics, huh?
Rapidly preparing
the metrics. I'm sorry. What? Was this like, the metrics are coming. The metrics are coming. Oh, no.
Join the rest of the world in adapting to the standard system of metric measurements.
There we go.
Within this century, we may see children's textbooks, business journals, and accountants' ledgers abandon the language of pounds,
I
ounces,
very
feet,
much
and inches.
don't think that's happening.
Your names will be replaced by such terms as grams, liters, meters, and centimeters.
Oh no!
And the change in
How
language
horrible!
won't stop there. It will follow us all the way into the kitchen.
Oh no! The horror!
Now,
exact measurements. No.
Ford signed the Metric Conversion Act in December of 1975. And everyone was preparing to make the change, and some were quite upset.
Yeah, they were.
Quickly repealed by Reagan in 1982.
Of course.
Serves correct.
Yeah.
I just think stuff like this is hilarious.
Oh boy.
Ain't that a beauty?
Oh, that did
Smells
not
good
go as
now,
high as
too.
I expected
So
it. I thought this was gonna overflow more, but I guess it managed to harden up before it like completely overflowed.
Getting things out of bunt pans can be notoriously tricky, so
Yes.
my plan of action is to let this cool down for about 5 minutes, attempt to turn it out, and then we'll let it cool down completely before we try it. Here goes nothing.
Okay, let's see. Turn it over. Oh shit! Hell yeah! Nice. A little sticking, but that's fine.
That is a massive cake. You're not cold anymore, are you? Alrighty, our
Well.
cake has cooled and rested for about 4 hours now, so I reckon it's time
That is
to
a
see
lot.
what's on the inside.
I'm gonna guess a cake.
Quite the crispy crust. Cakes at this size are normally baked at 300 or 325, so this is gonna be interesting.
It's only stuck inside. Oh god. Holy shit, that is dense. Oh my god. Okay. it has a crispy crust, and it looks like it's about as dense as a brick. Not that it's gonna taste bad, but holy shit. Okay.
Whoa! Look at how tight that crumb is. Hello.
It's gonna taste fine, but it's just funny.
There's something quite special here. You have a browned, crispy exterior, but the
Yeah, very
inside
tight
is
crumb.
where the magic is. It's the tightest, most densest crumb
Yeah.
I've experienced.
Yeah, it is. That is one way to describe it. This thing is dense.
And it almost lends itself to a fudgy consistency in a very positive way, but it isn't
Baked fudge, huh?
It's very pleasant. The taste is
Yeah.
also really good, which
Yeah,
it
it's
shouldn't be,
fine.
and I'm slightly miffed
Why?
about. It has margarine and Crisco in it.
I mean, both of those are fine. Even in cakes, it'll be fine, considering how much sugar there is in here. It'll be perfectly normal. I'm gonna guess it added margarine because you're adding Crisco. And Crisco and, say, butter will conflict a little in taste.
But I do think that's just the 3 cups of sugar talking.
Yes, it
This
is.
is a wonderful cake. Now the question is,
It's
is
a brick.
the cold oven the secret? Does it make a difference?
Does it,
And I'm
though?
inclined to say yes, that there's no way it doesn't make a difference.
Better with chocolate?
Starting the baking
Maybe.
process at room temperature essentially gives a lot more time for the large bubbles to make their way to the top and pop before the cake starts to begin building its structure through
Fair
heat.
enough,
So
I
as
guess.
the temperature rises, the cake is building itself
Oh.
upon a finer network of
Oh, so if you make it in a cold oven, you just get a denser cake. So you made this on purpose. Okay. Why? I guess it's like an angel food cake, or like, I guess a pound cake. That's what it was supposed to be like. But I don't remember either of them being this dense.
air pockets. It creates a dense crumb, and the structure builds gradually. Or at least that's my hypothesis. Do I think you'd get a vastly different cake if you baked this in a preheated oven? No, I'm quite sure you'd get something similar, but this method must just take it the extra mile. I'm not sold that these results are unique to the quote cold oven method either. I posit that you could get similar results if you say left the batter in the bundt pan for a little bit before you baked it in a preheated oven. Perhaps
I don't know if it would. Mostly because when you start baking it, you start making bubbles. So if you start, even if you like knock all the bubbles out, if you just put it in a preheated oven, you're gonna make a few more, and it's gonna end up a little less dense.
This is just the easiest or the most replicable way of getting these results in a cake. All I know is that it's fantastic, and it uses margarine, which means
no, not
butter,
margarine.
It's gotta be really good. We should also give credit where credit is due. This recipe comes to us from Kathy. Oh dear, Kathy N.
I see. Oh, that is okay, cool. I can see why you would not want to say that name.
From Huntington Station, New York.
Cool.
So it has been a few days, and initially I was quite content with uploading this video where it stood.
Oh,
however,
no, there's more?
Curiosity would have killed me a long time ago.
Okay.
Because Kathy from Huntington Station and her potentially problematic mispronounceable surname and
yes.
her cold oven cake.
I am not getting banned on YouTube by trying to say that name.
Have been in my dreams, and they've driven me to want to bake this cake in a preheated oven just to see the difference.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Because I am truthfully fascinated with this cold oven idea, and I need to know whether or not that fascination is warranted or misplaced.
Yeah,
so
let's see what the difference is.
And floured bundt pan, and we have our cake batter. Now, our cake batter is prepared in the exact same manner as we just did previously. Same ingredients, same method. The only difference is we're going to be baking this in a preheated oven. Now, I won't lie,
show me what the difference is. Show me.
Change the oven temperature to something
It'll spring too much an overflow. Probably, yeah.
Because, of course, with the cold oven cake, it was not exposed to that high temp for the entire time. It was cold.
Well, for like the first 10 minutes, but yes.
Changing too many variables.
Yes.
I want to see the difference between a preheated oven or a non-preheated
oven.
So we're just going to bake this at 350.
To be fair, at like 10 extra minutes, it's not going to like completely destroy the cake, but yeah, it's just going to burn the bottom of the cake. So if you cut that off, it'll be fine. But yeah, the bottom of the cake is gonna burn at that temperature for that long, probably.
And if it's done early, it's done early.
No, it's not gonna be done early. It's gonna be burnt bottom.
Oven 350 in this boy goes. Do not worry, I will watch.
That is less batter than you put in last time.
Done around the same amount of time, of course, just slightly earlier. So this is the 40-minute mark on our hot oven cake, and it looks more or less the same.
Well, no, because the bottom is split now. This wasn't like this when it was a cold oven cake.
Perhaps it's a bit rounder than the previous.
Just a little. Oh my.
Alrighty, this. Oh dear, this.
Don't break that.
1 hour and 5 minutes, and it looks definitively different. Just on
you don't say.
This one has cracked a lot more markedly.
Yeah, obviously.
It's domed more.
It's risen, obviously.
See how this works.
Looks fine.
This angle looks more or less the same, but we're gonna let it cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit more baked, different. Obviously. It's a little like darker on the side. It's a little bit. It's a little bit more.
Crumb, isn't it?
It's I was gonna say like it's a little bit more normal, quote unquote. It looks like a regular cake now. So yeah.
I mean, it's not vastly different, but
it is. Taste is gonna be the same, probably.
Wow, that is different.
Is it? Is it actually?
It's not as good. The crumb is more crumbly. It's not as well put together.
Well, yeah, it's not as dense.
It's drier. The positive fudgy-like consistency of the previous cake is gone. The density as well. I can't say with any degree of certainty that one of these cakes tastes better than the other, but I can say with certainty.
Well, I mean, the preheated one just looks like a regular cake that you just baked a little too much, essentially. And the cold oven cake is just very, very dense. I'll be honest, the cold oven cake looks like it has the consistency of like banana bread.
Indeed, that I feel as if the previous cake tasted better. And it brings to light an important note, which is texture of a baked good plays a more important role in taste perception than you think. And I much prefer the previous cake. To be honest,
I don't know if it's more important, but it's definitely important.
I expected this cake's outer shell to be a bit more burnt and crispy.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
That's it. But this certainly validates Kathy, doesn't it? Now,
yeah.
I'm an amateur. I only started baking with my TikTok back in 2020. So if any of you
have any
information on cold oven cakes or cold oven methods, please do let me know in the comments. I'd be very interested reading them. All I know is I have a lot of cake to eat. So that's it for me today, and I'll be seeing you quite soon.
Ah, yes. Dylan has a lot of cake to eat. Good to know. Thank you for sharing, Dylan. That was, okay. Jesus.